we got to talk about really your finances and trying to be fiscally responsible. And here to talk to us more about this new trend of buy now, pay later is Erica Sandberg. She is a consumer finance expert. Thank you so much for being with us, Erica.
Thank you so much for having me.
Let's talk about this. You know, a lot of younger people are leaning in, basically it's the new way of having layaway, except for you get the items first and then you pay later. What would you say is the biggest mistake that people make by going into these essential contracts?
I would say the biggest mistake right now is to layer them. You have so many going on at once that great deal where you're able to chop up a payment into 4 different installments sounds so affordable. But when you have not just one, not just 2, but 3 or 4 happening all at the same time, and suddenly you're paying a lot for the things that you want that you really probably should have saved for, using cash in your account, or sometimes even using a credit card, because those payments can be quite substantial.
So why do people choose to use this method instead of using cash?
Super easy. So for example, they typically only require a soft credit pull. So they're not going to go into your credit score and credit report and do a big analysis or anything. They'll just take a quick look, see if you can afford those monthly payments, and then you're off to the races. So it's available on almost everything now. So it could be from flights to clothes to QVC, it doesn't matter. Everybody is offering concert tickets, food. So it's pervasive, it's available, and people are taking advantage of it.
You know, Erica, you mentioned using your credit card if you can, or using cash. At least with your credit card, if you pay it down or pay it off, you do get some benefit in terms of your credit. With these buy now, pay later, is there any benefit to your credit? Do you see, because you did say it's a soft, essentially, it looks at the soft side of your credit. Do you get any benefits from it?
Yeah, that's right. So you're actually losing the benefits that you would get from your credit card, which is points and consumer protection and credit building. Buy now, pay later plans just recently are being added to credit reports. Therefore, they're going to be included in credit scores. So that's a good thing. But in the past, no, you did not get any credit for using these plans responsibly. So, okay, some good news is on the horizon, but it also could be bad news if you do misuse them, you miss payments, or you get into extra debt that you can't afford.
So
be careful.
I always see little ads online about these services. How much of a role do you think social media plays in influencing people to use these online services?
A huge role. I mean, these are traditionally used by people who are just starting off with credit. Maybe they're young, right? This is their first real foray into borrowing money. And so they're really attractive to younger consumers, Gen Z. They're really being marketed to them. So it's super attractive. It's also really attractive to people who've got not so great credit. So they don't have a credit card because they've had some past credit problems. So it's being marketed to them as well. Like, here's an alternative, which can be terrific. I'm going to kind of back away for a moment. They can be excellent, but you have to use them to your advantage because they can easily be misused.
You know, Erica, I'm from the generation of Kmart, Venture, back in the day. When my mother couldn't afford Christmas, I remember her setting up the layaway at those places, and then come Christmas Day, those items would be under the Christmas tree. There are people, I'm sure, that are using these services in that way. What is the benefit, if any? Are there any benefits to using some of these services?
So I love the comparison between the buy now, pay later plans to layaway, traditional layaway, just like your mom, just like my mom did too. You put money down and then you slowly build toward that purchase. Buy now, pay later plans, you get the stuff right away and then you pay. So it's got a real different emotional feeling to it, where you're still taking out a loan as opposed to kind of preparing for that purchase. So it's really different in that way. Hey, listen, I remember green stamps. I don't know if you guys remember that, but I remember my mom holding green stamp packets. There are all different kind of ways that you can save for that purchase. I would say use cash if you can, even though a lot of these plans do not have interest added to it, but some do. So you have to be really careful. Use cash if you have it. This is a really great way of managing money. Think about what you want, plan for it, prepare for it, and pay as absolute least as you possibly can.
Erica, what would you say is the best budget or saving tip that you have for people?
Um, Look at your budget, know how much you have coming in and going out, and having a really great slush fund. Because I'm all about impulse shopping. I do not tell people not to impulse shop. We all do it, accept it, love it, but kind of have that little extra that you know that you have just for anything that comes up that sounds really great. Don't try and pretend that you can all fit within these super tight boundaries. We don't do it. We go into the department store or a street fair or something. We're going to buy something. So just kind of think you want a real flexible budget that works for you so you don't get into debt.
You know, Erica, some of these companies have reported that essentially so many people have not paid off their debts that they're going to start looking at credit. What happens to a person if they do decide to go into this contract and they don't pay?
Yeah, that's going to be a big problem because those late payments are going to be reported. Delinquencies are the most important negative scoring factor. So paying on time is going to help you. Paying late is going to be a big problem. So really schedule in advance, make sure, and most of these, it comes out of your account anyway. So you have to make sure that you have the cash in your checking or savings account where it's being drawn fund, that you have enough in there. Otherwise, it's going to show up as a late payment if you are more than 30 days late.
So right now, today started Amazon Prime Day. We talked about that earlier. Is there any tips that you can give people if they want to buy something for Prime, maybe they haven't saved for it? Do we use these items like Klarna and online play services? Do we just wait and just miss out on the deal? What would you suggest?
Yeah, Amazon Prime Day can be great. It should be say Amazon Prime Days because it's not just one day, it's a few. It's the 8th through the 11th. And this is a time where you can get the fabulous deals that Amazon is offering. Big discounts if you are a Prime member. And if you're not, you can join as a free trial period. And that's fine. You could take advantage of it at that stage. But yeah, I mean, take a look at the different deals that are available. Do they fit your budget? Is it something that you really want or need, or it's just super appealing because it just happens to be on sale? We have to really take a look at that because it's also super easy to go, gosh, that sounds really great, but does it really fit your lifestyle? Is it something that's really necessary? So stop and think, add things to your cart, and then step back. Take a moment, breathe, have a cup of coffee, and then return to your cart. It'll still be there.
Erica, real quick, what would you say is something that young people now can invest in, even older people that can invest in it now, and it will have benefits long term?
Invest in terms of investments?
Yes, or buying something
No,
that
I'm
will
gonna
have
tell
a
you
reward.
something wonderful. Right now, high yield savings accounts, they're safe. You have some of them are offering 5% APR. That is enormous. They're totally liquid and they're so easy to open, almost no risk. In fact, there is no risk. So I would say take a look at that if you've got a bulk of money and you want to set it aside for a while. 5%, it's hard to beat that.
Is it still impactful if you put a small amount of money or a smaller amount of money into a high yield savings account?
No, it's certainly not going to be a little tiny amount. But I mean, I can just say from my daughter who's 22, she saved up a few $1,000s and she's opening up a high yield savings account. It's going to work to her advantage. It also and here's something super important. It gets you into that mindset, right? You are establishing a really good habit. Save money, get a bulk of cash, set it aside into something that's going to work to your advantage. And you keep that going, you keep that pattern up, you're going to be in really good shape. So it's just a different way of approaching your finances where you're looking ahead and you're making sure it's safe, but also that you're getting something in return. We know the traditional savings account was just, you're not getting anything. So why not take advantage of what's out there?
Erica, a final question for you. Someone that's watching right now, maybe they want to get in contact with you. Maybe they want to follow some of your advice tips. Where can they go?
Certainly you can find me on Card Rates. You can find me there, but you can also look me up, Erica Sandberg, Erica J. Sandberg on Twitter. I'm usually out and about. But yeah, feel free, Erica Sandberg.
Everywhere.
Google me. My email is there.
All right, Erica Sandberg, it has been an absolute pleasure speaking with you. Thank you so much for all of
Thank
your
you,
tips.
ladies. Have a great day.
much.
All right, you too.